Light and love to you, and welcome to the Braveheart Healing Channel. I am the lovely Kiana Nicole. If you're new to the channel, definitely go ahead and hit the like, hype, and subscribe button. It definitely helps my video reach the algorithm to get the truth out to the people. So thank you for doing that. I'm going to be taking a look here at Melania Trump, and coming forth and talking about the Epstein files and her covering for herself is pretty much what she's doing here. Her regurgitated, speech that she put on yesterday was totally ridiculous, and it really shows the state of affairs within the U.S. snakes of America. And her pretty much trying to cover for her deep involvement within the Epstein files. And let's just call it what it is. These creatures, I'm not going to give them the honor of calling them human beings because they are not. These creatures that are before us in all of the establishment regarding the U.S. government, Congress, Supreme Court, Democrats, all of them, Republicans, all of them, have sold people out. They are liars, and scripture says that when they lie, they are speaking their own language. They are speaking their native tongue here. So whenever they take to the podium or talk, just expect anything that they say that comes out of their mouth as a lie. She got straight up on that podium with her frail ass talking about, how she didn't have anything to do with Epstein. She didn't know him, and that they were at casual parties together, etc. Just shut up, lady. Like, you are making yourself look worse than what you are. If you are innocent, there was no reason for you to come forward and to defend yourself like you did. I believe, and this is my personal opinion, I believe that there's something big that's coming. Something huge that she is trying to cover for herself before the chips fall where they may. She's trying to do some deep covering here for herself. So, she brings all of these things that she's talking about within this speech. And pretty much what she's doing is she's shifting the burden of the Epstein survivors. She's shipping it on. She's giving it over to them. Like, she's blaming them for everything. And then with her dumb statement, I just believe, in my personal opinion, that the Epstein survivors have done more than what they were supposed to do in coming forward with the news. There has been huge injustices done regarding, the protection of these survivors on so many different facets, so many different levels. They have straight exploited these people, let their names be known in the public when that should have been hidden. Instead of releasing these perpetrators within Congress and within the Supreme Court and within Israel, that are heavily involved with this Epstein syndicate, this cabal. And, her speech, when she was on that stage, pretty much protects those in power. She wasn't exposing anything that we didn't even know. She's just trying to cover for herself, to separate herself from the fallout of the Epstein files and to place the guilt back onto the Epstein survivors. That was what this whole speech was about. This whole establishment is protecting them instead of exposing them. It is demonic. It is Luciferian. It is satanic. These creatures that are in power are the direct bloodline descendants of the Nephilim. These are Satan's children, because they could get up on the podium and spit whatever they want to say and take it as truth. These people are sick on so many different levels, and she's one of them. I believe nothing that she says come out of her mouth is truth. She is a despicable human being. This whole establishment is despicable. And, her speech pretty much protects those in power. The whole establishment is protecting them because they are all involved in it. Like I said, Congress, Republicans, Democrats, the Supreme Court, everyone is complicit and compromised and has indeed been blackmailed by IPAC, by Is It Real, with their lobby money. They have sold the American people out to a foreign entity. And we have to get one thing understood here. The United States is a corporation. It's no longer a country. I hope people get that and understand that. But yeah, she diverts her attention as well from Pam Bondi, who, has not answered any questions, but she knows the truth. And yet she walks around like, we're doing everything in our power to expose the perpetrators and all this other stuff. She's not. She's not doing a damn thing because she's a part of it as well. And it just shows the incompetency of this establishment and its failure to protect the real people that are at risk here, which are these Epstein survivors. But by them putting their names out and, not even listing any of the perpetrator names shows that this is an institution, is an establishment of injustice instead of justice. She states that she never had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and that, or his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm not a victim of Epstein, she says, and that I only was around Epstein at a couple of casual parties, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Woman, shut up. You are irrelevant. We're sick of your face, and you need to be held accountable as well. And you need to go to jail as well for lying because you know damn well that you're on that podium and you're lying to the American people. She's just saying that, oh, I was invited to some of the same parties he was at. You know what they say, birds of a feather flock together. But I think that she's covering for herself. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think she's definitely covering for herself because there's something big that's coming down the pike. Let me know what you think in the comments.